is with a grateful heart that I welcome you to the Foundation for Saline Area Schools Fall Kickoff Luncheon. I am Ann Hurst-Kreitz, Executive Director of the Foundation, and I am just honored to have you here in this place today. Who would have thought that Liberty Gymnasium could look this nice? Thank you to our events committee. But I'd like to first begin by thanking the fabulous Foundation Board of Trustees. Would each of you here that are on the trustee board please stand real quickly and give them a round of applause. I'd like to thank Superintendent Graydon, the incredible Saline Area School Administration, our wonderful events committee headed by Jeffrey McLaughlin, Amy Long, Julie Brilliant, Kristen Miller, and Sue Corcoran. Thank you to our presenting sponsors, Briarwood Ford, Sue Whitener's here today, Dr. Catherine Kelly, who is here today, and Wally McNeil and Max for providing this incredible lunch. That deserves an applause. Lobster. Thanks to our sponsors, Saline Flowerland and Party Central for the decorations, and our cool lawn art guru, Jim Hayes, that did that really cool acorn outside of Liberty. Thank you so much for that. There are many people that it takes to get this show on the road, so to speak, but I want to call out a few. Joe Freeman, Jeff Berman, Troy Wissink, and Greg Spittler, you have been incredible to us. To all the speakers, I'm so excited to hear from the kids, the teachers, and all the time that you have put into this. Again, it takes a lot to have something like this come into fruition. To all of our foundation donors, volunteers, and sponsors, thank you so much for supporting the foundation. At this time, I'd like to recognize a few of our elected officials that are in the House today. If you can just stand real briefly. First of all, State Representative Donna Lisinski. City of Saline Councilwoman Janet Dillon. And Board of Education members Paul Heineck, Michael McFay, and Scott Hummer. To put it simply, the Foundation provides funds to enable Saline area schools to pursue excellence, both now and into the future. The Foundation does this by awarding teaching, strategic, building, partnership, and student-led grants. Since 1987, the Foundation has given over $1 million to Saline schools and are now focused on the future and the next 30 years ahead of us. I've had the privilege of serving in this role as Executive Director for almost 3 years, hard to believe, while also being a very proud alumni of Saline Area Schools. My husband and I have 2 sons, one who graduated in 2016 and one who will graduate in 2020. Our sons have benefited tremendously from many grants through school, throughout their school career, and many of your children, grandchildren, and friends in the community have been affected by many of these grants over the last 31 years. Along with yearly teaching grants, last year the Foundation gave each school building a grant. These included the bridge at the Saline High School, a student success center, funding for the Liberty School courtyard that you will actually be able to tour today after the luncheon, a redesign of the Heritage Media Center, standards-based learning at Saline Middle School, as well as makerspace carton resources at each elementary school, which you'll also hear more about in a minute. We've also had our first student-led grant, and the students are here today to tell their story. Virtual reality glasses, Ozabots, technology to assist our students with disabilities, a school store at Heritage, underwater seat perch, ROVs, early literacy programs, a student writing center, and a next generation gymnasium are just a few of the Foundation grants that have greatly impacted our students. Today is a great day. You, our donors, volunteers, corporate sponsors, and community supporters are going to make it even better. Thank you for making a significant difference at Saline schools and enabling this district to continue to thrive and consistently be one of the best schools in the state of Michigan. And now, I'd like to introduce, without further ado, Katie Murphy, our foundation president. She is a true champion of the foundation, a transformational leader, and we're blessed to have her in this role.
Hi, everyone. This is awkward. I am so honored to be standing up here today addressing all of you there. I'm going to step back, but I better not fall off this thing. It's amazing to see how many of you are out there here to support the district, and I'm just honored to represent the Foundation for Saline Area Schools today. And that's because if you didn't know it when you walked into the door today, you're certainly going to know it when you leave. This community is blessed with one of the most forward-thinking districts in the country. And that is without a doubt because of the tireless efforts of the Saline Area Schools District Administration and the staff and their pursuit for excellence for our students, for themselves, and for the programs that they bring into this school. An example of that excellence that they bring to us can be seen in the compass that they developed in 2016. The compass is here. I hope you get a chance to take a better look at it, because what it is it's a guidepost. It's a guidepost for the district and everybody in it about what our students need to achieve not only in our schools, but into the greater world around us. It's the guidepost for all of us to think about how we need to prepare our kids to go out into the world, for the kids of Saline to be the leaders of tomorrow. And so the foundation has taken that direction from the district, and how better to support that district than to align our grants with that compass. So this year we've started that discussion with our grant applicants to say, how does this project you want to bring to our schools align with this compass? How is it preparing our kids for the future? What direction are we taking with this that we need to get behind as a community? And that discussion already has created wonderful conversations and amazing grants that we can fund to make sure we're continuing down the right path that our administration and our staff are leading us down. It's an amazing process to be a part of. But I want to be very clear that none of this success is possible without all of you in this room. Without a community that not only understands the student-led, future-focused vision of this district, you guys not only understand it, but you embrace it, and you support it with your time, your energy, and your financial resources. And without that, the district and the foundation, it isn't what it is today, and it isn't what it's destined to be tomorrow. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming out on a very busy day, taking time out of your day to come learn about what we're doing in this community, to make our students prepared for the future, to make the district better, to make the community better, to make the world better. I thank you for taking the time to consider what you can give back to the district, whether that's your time, your energy, or your financial resources. It makes a difference. And I hope some of the presentations today hammer home to you what that difference is that you're making in this community. And with that, I want to introduce the co-sponsors of today's event, because they represent two people in this community who are committed to making a difference. Sue Whitener and her husband Steve own Briarwood Ford here in town, and they are one of the first corporate sponsors of the foundation. They have been with us from the beginning of that program, and they are just a wonderful support. They see the value of the schools and their family, in their neighborhoods, and in the greater community, and they could not be more of a support to the foundation. And with her will come up our other co-sponsor, Dr. Catherine Kelly, and she is a wonderful community member in this community. And if you wonder, while our schools are developing our leaders of tomorrow, Dr. Catherine Kelly is making sure that their smiles are beautiful while they're doing it. So if I could have Sue Whitener and Dr. Catherine Kelly come up, we'll let them say a few words.
It's a pleasure. Hello? There we go. Over here. It's a pleasure to be here today representing Briarwood Ford and the Whitener Family Giving Fund. We have been involved with the Foundation for Saline Area Schools for several years. The Saline schools are very near and dear to my heart. I graduated from Saline High School in 1973. And my husband, Steve, and I have watched our two sons graduate from my high school alma mater and move on, one to the University of Michigan and one to the University of Virginia. They both graduated from college and have flown afar. I distinctly remember a family conversation regarding the transition from high school to college. Both our sons unanimously agreed they felt the Saline schools had done their part in preparing them well for college, both academically and non-extracurricular activities. What more could parents ask for? Steve and I continue to feel so blessed that our sons had the opportunity to go through the Saline schools. And then I would also like to share with you something that happened to me by happenstance related to the foundation. I was at an October meeting of a professional music sorority I belong to. The program that evening was put on by Joan Starkey, a retired Saline elementary ed school teacher. That evening, she played the dulcimer and sang, "Go tell Aunt Rhody," I'm not a singer, from this beautifully illustrated music book. After her performance, she shared with the group how her students loved this folk song and book, and that it was one of 20 different music books purchased through a Foundation for Saline Area School grant. Later, I learned Joan was awarded another grant for instruments around the world, which she used to purchase drums, maracas, ojibways, and all kinds of musical devices from other countries. And in conclusion, we would like to thank you for your continued generous support of the Foundation for Saline Area Schools. Special thanks to the teachers who are on the front lines with our students, making a positive impact on the future generations. And go Hornets!
Good afternoon. I don't think there's a single Saline event I've ever been to where I wasn't overwhelmed and near tears. This is an awesome school district, and we're thrilled to be here. And I represent a team of people, and one of my team members, my captain of my team is here, Kelly Schomburg, so Kelly can wave to everybody. But I'm really happy to be here today. First of all, because I have two children who've graduated from Saline schools, and my youngest is in 7th grade. And Kelly's also had two daughters who graduated from Saline schools. So to thank the foundation and all the hard work and all the innovative ideas you've come up with that have directly impacted our kids, we say thank you. It's a really amazing school, and no one person can know what's going on and know how to create a better school system. But as a small business owner, we love to be involved in the community. But for our small dollars to be used by such smart people who know the administrators, who know the teachers, who know the different school buildings, and can identify really innovative ideas, new creative ways of teaching, creative things that they take the synergy of the whole school and they exponentially improve it for us all. So as a small business owner in Saline, I just want to say thank you to the foundation. Thank you to the school. You create an incredible community for all of us. So I won't cry, but thank you for your time, and thanks for letting us be a part of something so big and magnificent. Thanks, Ann Hurst.
At this time, I'd love to call up Matt Einsman. Matt is a senior at Saline High School. He is in his second year as a student representative for the Foundation for Saline Area Schools, and we are thrilled to hear from him in a bit of a student perspective. Matt.
Stand over here so we can stand right here. All right, usually, is it working? Yeah. Usually I'm here for rec basketball, so it's a little different, but it's cool. So first of all, can you hear me? There you go. First of all, thank you to Ann Hurst for allowing me to speak at this event. So my family has always been dedicated to service, and they always tell me to do this quietly and humbly. Sorry, just getting something up real quick. There you go. My mother likes to share a lot of quotes with me. It's kind of annoying, but one that really sticks with me is the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. The service of others. And having the honor to work with the foundation I really focused on what I could contribute to the foundation, but what surprised me was how much I gained from the foundation. And so I'm forever grateful to Ann Hurst, Mrs. Murphy, the other trustees for allowing me to watch them at the monthly meetings and other foundation events. Walking into Saline High School, it is evident the impact that the foundation has in our school system. We have the Hornet Hub now, the bridge, and actually just yesterday at the auditorium, there was a showing of Angst, an hour-long film. It's not working. An hour-long film about anxiety, and so that was cool to see. And it's just amazing the impact the foundation has. And with the rise of our student board, I'm excited to see how our students can impact the school, specifically at the high school, but in the whole district as well. And so I just thank the foundation for giving me the opportunity to positively impact the community and the school system. It means more to me than I can express. And so just thank you again.
Sorry about this. I'm not sure what's going on with our microphone, but we're going to make it work. So if not, I'm going to get a little extra help. So at this time, I would love to bring up Meg Phillips, one of our wonderful teachers, 4 of her incredible students. And what I want them to talk about today is their incredible makerspace, which I have to admit I didn't know much about. So I'm going to be learning some too. You don't mind? Let's keep you right here. Is this working? Do you feel a little mini drink coming on? I think so. All right, Mr. Griffin. New mic system. It's like we do with batteries. So Mr. Berman and Mr. Freeman are gonna work on that. So bear with us. Thank you for being really patient, but please give an incredible round of applause to Meg Phillips and her students.
Thank you, Ann Hurst, for inviting us to be part of this wonderful luncheon today. It's really exciting to be able to share with the community what we've been able to accomplish at Pleasant Ridge with our makerspace and the support we received from the foundation. I was lucky enough to receive a teaching grant, and our building grant last year helped expand our makerspace. And so I'm going to keep it pretty short from my perspective today because it's all about what the students get to experience with makerspace. And we really, this is just the tip of the iceberg of what you're going to hear today because the foundation has supported us with some pretty large resources, but we do a lot of small things in the makerspace that unfortunately we just can't explain it all today. So they're going to talk about what they like about makerspace and what their favorite projects have been. And then we've got a video that we've prepared for you that really highlights some of the resources that the foundation has provided for us. But before we get to that, so some of the resources, the teaching grant helps support a magnetic ball wall. And you'll see that demonstrated in the video shortly. Everblocks, which are actually large life-size Legos, which allow the students to be able to build walls and chairs. And then there's Keva planks, which are small, simple planks, but they get to expand, build tall towers and other structures, and really get to their creativity side. And then lastly, electronic snap circuits. We got those out with 3rd grade this week, and they really had a blast exploring how electricity and lights work and exploring and different options with those. All right, we'll head next slide. So, without further ado, I've got my student representatives here. year we have Jesse Corrigan, Addie Hayes, Mason Piazza, and Weston Rogers. These are all third graders at Pleasant Ridge, and so I'd like for you to give them their attention. Thank you.
My name is Jessie. I like makerspaces because we get more free time to work together. We also get to use special materials we don't normally get to use. For example, the giant Legos. First, we got to build furniture, like chairs and couches, and then we got free choice. For free choice, I built an igloo. My name is Abby. I like makerspace because I like turkey cups. My favorite project in makerspace is when we disguised a turkey for Thanksgiving. I also like when we got to build the things and make whatever we wanted. Hi, my name is Mason. I like makerspace because you get to use recyclable materials to work on things you're doing in your classroom. My favorite project was making a timeline for social studies. We made a scene of the people or event that happened during that time. Hello, my name is Weston, and I like makerspace because you get to work with partners and make things. My favorite project was when I was in second grade. My partner and I made a landscape on a camper when we studied landforms.
Didn't they do a great job with their cupolas? All right, so now we have a short video that I'd like to show that highlights what you get to see in the makerspace. Thank you.
Pleasant Ridge Elementary Makerspace allows the students an opportunity to demonstrate what they are learning in the classroom while applying the 4 C's. The students collaborate while building with the large Legos and using the snap circuits and the rigamajig.
We use our communication to combine our ideas, and my partner and I made a story mountain of Mercy Watson using pool noodles and tape.
Opportunities abound to use their creativity, from building alien creatures to building with Keva planks and having fun with the rigamajig. Critical thinking skills are used with the magnetic ball wall and the Keva planks, building tall towers. Several of the student attributes are also highlighted in the makerspace.
The Makerspace Challenge is allowing us to use our creativity to turn a paper towel wall into anything we can imagine. You can solve problems and keep trying with new ideas with the ball wall. Even in first grade, they are learning to be positive communicators using the planks to build tall towers.
Okay,
At the Pleasant Ridge Makerspace, even the teachers enjoy making, from creating oobleck to building with Legos with their students. The students enjoy making chairs from the big Legos for their teachers. It allows them to have fun and be creative while making. And we even have a little fun with some rivalries. But at Pleasant Ridge, it's all about using the different materials and resources available.
Thank you, Foundation for Saline Area Schools, for supporting our makerspace.
Wow, that is so cool. I did not have that when I was young. Okay, and next, Trish Fair and Kim Munn and their incredible connecting students. There's a lot of them. There's about 11. They are all here today. This is close to my heart, and we will welcome them to come on up and share the first student-led grant that they got last year. Please welcome them.
Hello, I'm Trish Fair. For a teacher, I am horrible at public speaking, so please bear with me. We started Connecting Club, so I don't know if you know what Connecting is, but I truly say this all the time. I have the best job in the district. It's mine, and I love it. So Connecting is where I have high school students take a class with me, and they learn all about different kind of disabilities. Then they get to go out all throughout the district and work with people with disabilities. It is truly life-changing for everybody, and we're super proud of it. So I've been doing this is my 8th year, and I would see the joy on my kids' faces when they came back from placement, and I would hear gratitude from parents and students that they work with, and I thought, how cool would this be to do outside of school, like have typical social high school social events and fun. So it's kind of waited out, it's kind of busy, and then Kim got moved into high school, and we had this class of Connecting that just had this passion and this chemistry, and so last year I thought, you know what, this is the time, it's time. So we started Connecting Club. We, Kim and I kind of talked, and we kind of zeroed in on kids who were just super passionate and just got the connecting idea, and we kind of got them together, and we asked them if they wanted to be involved.
So last year, we had some summer meetings to initiate the Connecting Club. Students took time out of their schedules to meet and collaborate and to come up with ideas for the Connecting Club. During this time, they met and wrote 2 separate grants, of which you'll hear later on from our students. These students met many hours and days over the summer to come up with ideas and to coordinate it with the Compass. Collaborative leader, positive communicator, but most importantly, community. They made a community within the school for everyone. This is where all the pieces fit and everybody is welcome.
So we have an executive council, so our presidents are...
I'm Will Walker, Connor Rushler.
Our vice presidents are...
Hi, I'm Molly Munn. And Suzanne Simpson, but she's not here.
Let's see, we have secretaries.
Ms. William and Carson Conlon is also secretary, but he's not here.
Our treasurers are Isabel Hauser, she is not able to attend, and
Anna Weasley.
Event planners, these are very important people.
Hi, I'm Christina Walton.
And I'm Noah Ayers.
And social media is?
I'm Max Fair, and Michaela Monahan also, but she's not here.
And last but not least, he who likes this title. Well, I'm sorry, we have PC Support Branch, that's Danny Sislo, he's our, whatever we need, he's up for it. And our multimedia coordinator.
Lou Gatzinger.
So some of the things we stand for are kindness, inclusion, respect, and then also a variety of like social circles.
All right, so the goal of Connecting Club, we want to be able to include everyone, no matter what social circle you come from, no matter what age. Give everybody an equal chance to become part of that club. We want to branch out, so we don't want to just have people come to us. We want to go to other people and bring them to us, and then we want to have a club for everyone, regardless of their abilities, as I said, social groups or their interests.
So hi again, I'm Luke Gatzinger. Thursday's drop-ins, we just meet up at around 7:15 before school, and we hang out with a lot of great guys. It's welcome to anyone. You don't really have to be in the club. It's a good way to kind of introduce things about the club. We go in, we play games. This morning, for example, we played Uno with a lot of people. We did one big game. I call it Uno Grande. Yeah, so again, lots of fun. Great place to hang out. It's a judgment-free zone. And again, everyone loves it. And I'm sure Adam has good things to say about it too. What do you think about the club, Adam?
I think the club is so much fun to be with.
That's very good. I think so too. Thank you.
So one thing we do is Friday lunch groups, and every Friday we all just go down to Mrs. Fair's room to eat lunch and hang out with our friends, and we just play games, like we play Uno a lot, and we just accept everyone, so no matter what, you're allowed to come down and eat lunch with us and just hang out.
So through our Kindness Rocks grant that we received last year, we got to paint rocks with words of kindness and put them outside of the high school. And the goal of this was to promote respect and kindness throughout our school, but also branch out to the community, which was super important for us. Also, this year we're doing new additions. During the fall, we're being pumpkins and putting them out there also. Here are some pictures during our project last year. So then, through our activity-based grant, we decided to rent out a theater at Magic Theater. And it was just a little outing for everybody to come and enjoy a free movie with friends. Soda and popcorn were provided, and all this, it was sensory friendly, so the lights were turned on, and the volume was turned down, and all the club members could move around freely and chat with friends and hang out during the movie, so it was pretty fun.
My favorite part of the Magic Theater is I get to hang out with my friends.
So then, when we were starting to get this club all formed together, we took the small group and we just tried it out. We went to the escape room, and it was a lot of fun. This was not sponsored by grant money. We all just got together and went and did the escape room. It was a lot of fun.
So this was our first main big event. We got everybody involved, everybody in the club. This was our core meetings last year, and it was just a lot of fun to get everybody together. Everybody was included. We made new friends. It was just a whole lot of fun, and that's kind of what we're all about, just meeting new people, making connections, getting everyone involved. So that's awesome.
So another event we did was on one day off from school, someone just sent a message in our group chat. It just said, I'm going to Zapzone today if anyone wants to come up with me. day, so everyone just ended up going to Zap Zone and having a lot of fun.
So also during the school year last year, we had both a winter and Valentine Festival, which is where on a Friday, I believe, a couple Fridays, everybody that could come in the club went down to Mrs. Hurst Ranger School. And for the winter one, we made snowflakes. There was music playing, we played games. I believe we made gingerbread houses. That was a lot of fun. A lot of candy was eaten. And then for the Valentine's Festival, we also just played a lot of games. We made Valentine's cards. I got to paint a couple different things, and so that was really cool as well. On this too. So last year, we started with 15 executive council members. A lot of them are seniors. We have a lot of new people up here as well. We have grown a great deal since last year. We're now a group of over 80 members, which is kind of crazy because I didn't think that we would have a problem fitting Mrs. Hurst's room, but we do. Our goal is to have more and more events that we can do, and then also to bring in more people, even though we won't be able to fit, and just continue to spread kindness.
And then lastly, all of these events are all fun and stuff. Our club means, or connecting just means like more than just events and stuff. We're about treating everyone with kindness and respect, branching out like out of your like comfort zone and just meeting new people, and making sure everyone is included, and then just having like the opportunity for everybody to have like a typical like high school life.
Thank you so much. Incredible students. So proud of them. So proud of them. All right, last but not least from our teachers, we have Kara Davis, who will be sharing all sorts of wonderful things in her new role as an instructional designer, and she's got some interactive things for you to do as well.
I will try. We'll see if I can. I have to test to see if that all works from up here. Fantastic. As Amherst said, I'm Carrie Davis. I'm the district's new instructional designer. I share this position with Kelly Woodman and Julie Myers. Kelly's here with me today. And I'm really proud to be up here to speak on behalf of the foundation and on behalf of all of the students and staff who have benefited from the work of the foundation. This is actually my third speech at a foundation luncheon. At my first, to celebrate our Kids Who Read Succeed strategic grant, I was so nervous I almost fell off the stage. Little did I know I was going to be reduced to a 4x4 platform up here. So if I fall, Amherst, it's up to you to catch me. At my second, when we launched our next gen pilot classrooms, I was so inspired by my students and the opportunity we had been granted, I cried, like really cried in front of the entire group, if you remember in the library up at the middle school. So I decided for my third speech that we're going to mix it up a little bit, flip the script, if you will. So I need you to ready yourselves for some learning. There are some things that you're going to need. There's a QR half sheet near you somewhere. It is probably near those mums. You're gonna need one of those. You may need your phone because especially if you're in the back, you can't see the screens up here. Those QR codes are for a little bit later. You can use that half sheet as a scrap sheet of paper. If you prefer the old-fashioned way, you might want a pen or a pencil. There's pens provided to you at your tables from the foundation. Or your phone and an open note would suffice. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready, learners. Ready to go? I like that. This is an overachieving table right here. They're all ready to go and they did it all at the same time. All right. I'm gonna come, yes, you'll get your brownie points later. All right. All right, ready to go? So you can set those off to the side. As an ELA teacher, I have 20 years teaching writers how to launch an effective speech. I toyed with a number of analogies to make my point today, to communicate to you in some way the massive impact the Foundation for Saline Area Schools has had on our learners, our teachers, our district, and our community. I really wanted to somehow convey that the work of the Foundation does not stop with the distribution of one grant, a set of grants, or even a large-scale strategic grant. That the Foundation keeps positively influencing how we do business here long after
the money is spent, the supplies are in place, and the learning experiences are created. I considered the idea of nurturing a seed. I considered the concept of dominoes and the domino effect. I also considered the idea of a snowball effect, but then I quickly realized that that might create some confusion with our fabulous snowball event coming up this winter, so keep that on your horizon. And finally, I wondered if I could resurrect from a 2015 opening day speech this cat meme. And then I realized, no, when I got to this point, I need an alternate approach. I realized, right, rookie teacher mistake. If I'm doing all the thinking and speaking, then I'm doing the learning, but it's really you who needs to better understand. So this is where you, my learners, will come in. So I'm going to put up a list of grants that have been awarded, and you've heard about many today, and Ann Hurst mentioned them. So I know there's probably already words running through your head. This is just a sampling, so if you're new to the foundation work or new to this luncheon and aren't familiar with them, the titles will hopefully give you a sense of meaning. I'm gonna read a few just because it's so small up here. And upon seeing these grants, you're going to write down the first word or phrase that completes the prompt. When I think Foundation for Saline Area Schools, I think. All right, are you ready? Grab those pens, pencils, or your phone. Beekeeping.
All learners on deck. Hashtag techno history. Classroom of the future. Personalization and gamification. Imagination station. Heritage school store. Fit classroom. Electric forces and fields. Acid Just Writing Center, and of course all of those other fantastic programs that you heard about that we funded earlier. Are you ready? Oh, got a word? Or a short phrase? Short phrase, we have 2 3 words. Don't overthink it.
All right, everybody have one? Okay, this is going to be a gamble because you're a very large group, so I'm gonna have to rock my teacher magic. When I raise my hand, that means your conversation has to stop. Okay? So can you please quickly share with your table the word or a short phrase that came to mind? Turn to talk. All right, hand is up. Fantastic engagement. Heard some fabulous words. So let's keep growing our thinking together. I recently had the opportunity to hear John Hattie speak at a local education event hosted by the WISD. John Hattie, as a professor, educational director, and researcher, has done extensive analysis around success indicators in education. To keep it simple, what makes a school successful? He was speaking to us about the concept of collective efficacy, how a group's shared belief system can positively impact an outcome. In education speak, this means that ultimately, together, when school districts, the teachers, administrators, and community collectively believe that they can make a difference, students achieve more. We learned that collective efficacy is a social resource so that it doesn't deplete. In fact, it gets renewed with increased success cycling. And Hattie continually reinforced the idea that we have to believe in and know thy collective impact. The Foundation for Saline Area Schools, the grants it awards, the advertising it does on our behalf, the positive vibes it spreads, it is a critical part of our collective efficacy. By empowering teachers, inspiring ideas, creating a shared sense of purpose, it rapidly influences all stakeholders. I would like for you to see firsthand how far-reaching the positive impact of the foundation is via a digital gallery walk. This August, we asked administrators to help gather images that celebrated Saline Area Schools' future-focused work, and I collected a handful of images from just these 2 first months alone, and I hope that you are as impressed as I am. When I reflect on the images gathered, I am so aware of the many puzzle pieces the foundation has contributed to foster the future-focused experiences we have here. So to frame this for you,
I want you to keep in the back of your head all the titles you just saw and the presentations you just were witness to, and let me offer you some lenses. Classroom libraries, robotics, flexible spaces, Genius Hour, digital tools, progressive and non-traditional resources, academic risk-taking, student ownership. These are among the many initiatives that the foundation has supported. So I would like for you to put that word or phrase in front of you again. Do you have your own? And there are 2 slide decks for you. You can access these either via the QR code. Just a little bit of a tech tip for you. Most of your phones will now just in the camera feature. If you let's take hold the camera over top of the QR code, it will actually activate that link. Or you could type in your short URL into your browser on your phone. And I'd love for you to view this gallery walk of some of the fantastic things that are happening here in Saline that may not have specifically been a grant to a teacher or a strategic grant, but have somehow been influenced by the power of the foundation because that work carries on. I'll give you a minute to get organized. If you are tech savvy at your table, please help your group out. I know, look at what you just learned! Like, that is the best outcome of being a learner. I just learned that my phone does that. Fantastic, right? So your phones really do, just hold over top of there. If you don't have access, I'm gonna have, Greg, will you click on the top one, the FSAS Compass 2017-18? No? That's okay, that's fine. Okay. A workaround, if you do not have a phone or are not able to access, would be to partner up with somebody at your table. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to view, talk, share. I'll be around to tech solve. If you have it up and running, go ahead and share with somebody sitting near you. Works best in landscape mode. Spread the wealth. Well done, well done. Table. One trick, rather than pushing play, is to click slide, 7, slide, go by slide by slide. Not great, anybody on the spot, I promise you. Gotcha, you're fine. All right, never fear. For those of you who are able to access it, I won't put you on the spot if you were not, but you can even think through the words that you heard before. So if you were able to access and look at some of those fabulous things that are going on in Saline schools, and you can access these just by Googling hashtag FSAS Compass too, you'd be so amazed by what comes up. I want you to think about if you would revisit your word or short phrase, if you would add anything to it, revise it, or keep it exactly the same. Does it feel like this is the work of Saline Area Schools Foundation? And I want you to decide at your tables, this is where the pressure comes in. Which word do you think, based on everything that you've heard today at this luncheon, best represents the foundation for Saline area schools? Completing the phrase, when I think of the Saline Schools Foundation, I think blank. Can you determine somebody? This brave person will actually have to stand up and speak their word. All right, turn and talk. Yep, I'm done. Yep. Some people did.
You have the blue badge.
All right. And 5, 4, 3. Look at this teacher move. 2. Bring your conversation back together. Find me. All right, can you stand up if you were voted in? You are going to have to shout. I am not going to run to you in heels across this gym floor. Stand up if you were selected, please. Yes? Oh, feel the students' pain. Awesome. All right, we're going to do this in a random way. Are you ready? Ears open. So when we think Foundation for Saline Area Schools, we think, let's just popcorn around. Go, nice and loud. Innovation. Excellence. Research. Excellence. Impactful. Inclusive. Innovative. Collaborative. Communication. Smart. Supportive. Oh, that one's tough for me. Partners. Kelly. Engaged excellence. Alex. Collaborative. Tina. World class.
Opportunities for everyone.
Opportunities for everyone. A ripple effect. Know thy impact. Your participation in the Foundation for Saline Area Schools through volunteering, financial contributions, word of mouth, and intellectual support is a critical piece of bringing our shared beliefs and the Saline Area Schools vision to life. Thank you.
I feel like I just had class. Class of care. All right, without further ado, Lucy Ann Lance. As a student at Ann Arbor Huron High School, where my dad taught and knew her well, Lucy Ann Lance organized a dance at the Hoover Mansion as a fundraiser for Mott's Children's Hospital. That launched her passion to use her career as a radio and TV personality to help raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for nonprofit organizations in the community. Today, she and her business partner, Dean Erskine, which is here, own Lance and Erskine Communications, which produces the Lucy Ann Lance Show, heard on 1290 WLBY and online 1290WLBY.com. Monday to Friday from 8 to 11 and Saturdays from 9 to 12. Lucy Ann grew up in Ann Arbor, is a graduate of the University of Michigan. In 2011, she retired as assistant manager of Ann Arbor's Community Television Network, where she had worked for 30 years. She's also a veteran of the local radio scene, having hosted her own morning show for 3 decades now and worked as an assistant news director. She is the recipient of numerous awards, including Business Review's Most Influential Woman Award and the Michigan Small Business Journalist of the Year Award from the Small Business Administration. I love you, that's all I can say. She now lives in Saline, and we love her even more. Please give a warm welcome to Lucy Ann Lance.
Thank you. Sweetie, okay. All right, thank you. Bad knee, bad eyes, good heart. And Coach Bocher was a phenomenal tennis coach, let me tell you. And to have this come full circle, I didn't know Amherst back in the day when I was here in high school when he was teaching and coaching there. But to now work with your daughter as we do, she is just phenomenal. You've raised a great family, Coach, and you raised a lot of us as well, so thank you very much. It's wonderful to be here today, and I see a lot of familiar faces. By the way, nice thing about needing glasses to see far, you don't need them to read, so when you get older like this. Jesse Corrigan, third grader. I don't know if the third graders are still here or not. Jesse, where are you? Stand up. Jesse, you were incredible. All the kids were incredible, but I don't know how many of you noticed. He got up there, he was holding his notes. You did not have to refer to your notes at all. So if you want to go into radio or television, I will write you a letter of recommendation. Great job, young man. There was a business owner who became concerned when another business, just like his, set up shop right next door and put up a big sign. And that sign said, "Best Deals." And wouldn't you know it, another business set up shop right next door, same kind of business, put up an even bigger sign, and it said, "Lowest prices." So you've got best deals over here, you've got lowest prices over here, and here sits this guy in the middle wondering, how am I gonna sell my stuff? And then he got creative, and he put up the biggest sign of all, and it said, "Main Entrance." I love that story because it illustrates that ingenuity, the quality of being clever, original, inventive, goes a long way to helping you to succeed in life. How many of you are in business? Raise your hands. Actually, every single person in here should be raising his or her hand right now. And that is because whether you own a Fortune 500 company or Max Acadian Seafood Shack, which by the way, Wally knows I love lobster. I've never been to an event that served lobster, and thank you so much. Or A&H Lawn Service, or the nonprofit resale shop, or are on the school board, or if you're running for the school board, or you're juggling kids and running a household, or you're a student trying to excel in school. Each of you is running a business. My business partner, Dean Erskine, who's sitting right in front here. Dean, wave your hand. He and I are now in the 10th year of owning and marketing our show through our company, Lance and Erskine Communications. And at the downturn of the economy, Dean came to me. We'd been longtime colleagues, both of us in radio, decades and decades and decades. He, a few more decades than me. And he said, we should join forces. We should be our own bosses. Let's market our show ourselves. I thought he was crazy. We were both doing well. We had a good reputation in the community. We had worked for local business owners. We had worked for out-of-state business owners and big radio conglomerations, and we managed to do well. But the times were changing, and we had seen a lot of the on-air talent go as ownership changed and technology changed. I mean, truth be told, you don't even need a person in the studio anymore to make radio. So maybe it did make sense to be your own boss. We forged a great relationship with Cumulus Radio, where our show appears on 1290 WLBY. We created partnerships in the community. For instance, all the chambers of commerce have a spot on our show, including the Saline Area Chamber of Commerce. In fact, I think at least a couple people at each table, maybe more, we've interviewed on our show through these partnerships. And we gave all of those people a great way to target their market via advertising through our show segments. Every day we're talking with entrepreneurs on the Lucianne Lance Show. And here's what I've noticed, and you've heard this already over and over again today, and I'm going to echo it. Entrepreneurs, they have to be good communicators. They have to know how to tell their story. They have to be good collaborators. What partnerships can they create that will help their business grow? And look at the great relationships the foundation has forged with area businesses. I've never seen such an exciting, eclectic, electrifying community when it comes to the business community and its support of the endeavors here. And I lived nearly all my life in Ann Arbor and just moved here and built a house here 3 years ago. And I'm so glad I did. My brothers came here first, and they had been telling me come to Saline, you're gonna love it here. I said, Saline, really? It's so small. You're gonna love it here. And as Ann Arbor grew, I said, yes, please give me Saline. And Saline is just wonderful. It has absolutely everything anyone could ever want in a community, but especially great people and great businesses. And thank you to Briarwood Ford and Dr. Catherine Kelly for sponsoring today's Kickoff as a great example of that. I can tell you this, the business people who give back to the community, they prosper. We all prosper. It's not only the right thing to do for others, it's the best thing to do for business. And it's good for your soul. Number 3 on our list, so we had good communicators, we had good collaborators. Number 3, you have to think creatively. Main entrance creatively. And number 4, you have to exhibit critical thinking skills to be empowered to think on your own. And I'm sorry, but far too many school districts, far too many universities are not teaching critical thinking in a powerful way anymore. Those 4 points should sound familiar to many of you in this room. We've heard them today, and they are the 4 C's that the Saline Schools works to ensure that all of their students master by graduation: communication, collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking. I want to share with you a story about a Saline High School student who appeared on my show back in 2007. I smile because I still remember this so vividly. He had organized a video gaming tournament here at the high school. See Dr. Graydon shaking his head, yeah, he knows. It was sanctioned by the school, this video gaming tournament, but then Pittsfield police got involved because someone thought that perhaps it shouldn't go on in the high school because the game they had chosen was rated mature. Now, I don't think I was the first one to do this, or to mention this to this young man, but on the air, I suggested to him that he may want to turn his video game tournaments into a fundraiser for a nonprofit. Be a great way to curry favor in the community. This young man did just that by creating Gamers for Giving, raising money for autism research that year by collaborating with the Autism Society of Washtenaw County. But Zach Weigel's story doesn't end there. Today, he is the founder and CEO of Gamers Outreach Foundation, a nonprofit that funds the construction of these portable gaming kiosks, which they provide to hospitals around the country. Gamers Outreach also supplies video game care packages to U.S. soldiers serving overseas. And they do all of this through these video gaming tournaments across the country where they raise hundreds of thousands of dollars. Zach Weigel last year was listed on Forbes 30 Under 30, an incredible honor for that Saline High School graduate. He and many other Saline High grads exemplify what it means to think creatively, to collaborate, and the one I love the most, to give back. I have a niece and 3 nephews who have benefited from the opportunities in the Saline schools. Upon graduation, my niece traveled the world, right out of high school in Saline. She mastered many languages. She now is based in Europe to this day. We still hope to get her back home. Her brother became an accomplished cellist, but he didn't stop there. Today he works in software development for a company in Ann Arbor. And he came back home with his family and has 2 kids. My youngest nephews are twins who have autism. They remind me every day how great things can happen when we champion those who are challenged. And the Connecting Club, what a wonderful, wonderful place that is, because we have got to make those connections for all people in our schools and in society today. The Foundation for Saline Area Schools, under the superb direction of Amherst Christ and the board, ensures that innovation flourishes in our district, and it happens because of the partnerships in this community, from the businesses who support these endeavors to the community members and you parents who give from your hearts. In today's world, supporting our schools takes much more than voting yes for millages. And don't worry, Scott, we're all going to vote yes for the millages. Because frankly, there just aren't enough tax dollars to provide the kind of opportunities it takes to develop young people for the jobs of tomorrow. So that's where we come in, all of us. I believe our children are our greatest legacy, and would you agree with that? Not a name on a building, not money we leave in the bank when we go, but our children, their children, and the generations to come. So let's make sure they achieve their full potential by preparing them for the future. And not the future we envision, but the future we can't even imagine, the future that these kids out here are already starting to realize of what's to come. And today you have an opportunity to do that. So let's invest in these children who will be defining what our tomorrows look like. Take a look at the envelopes on your table, if you would now, please. They're right here. Everyone pick up their envelope and open those up. There's a pen there as well. There are 220 people here today, 220 at this foundation kickoff. If each person is able to contribute $100, we would raise $22,000. So that the next Zach Weigel out there will have the opportunity to learn in an environment that supports innovation, creativity, and critical thinking. I've already written my check. I hope you will too. I hope you join me in doing so. We're so quick to go buy a lottery ticket. We'll play the stock market. It's all speculation. Let's invest in these students because the return will be infinite. They are our main entrance into the future that we can't even imagine. Thank you.